And this recent local school shooting threat arrest, coming as the first of the 21 victims from the attack in Uvalde, Texas, are now being laid to rest. And as families grieve now a week later, the bipartisan group of lawmakers is continuing negotiations on gun reform with growing calls for stricter gun laws. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
One by one, the 21 victims of the Uvalde Elementary School massacre being laid to rest.
Although I have celebrated many funeral masses, this certainly is, the situation is different. It's as if one huge funeral that is not ending.
The small community and the nation in mourning. And there are growing questions into police response that day, with the gunman inside the school for 77 minutes. And now law enforcement sources tell ABC News Uvalde police are no longer cooperating with the state's review of their response. The Texas Department of Public Safety, which is running the state's investigation, declined to comment, and no comment yet from the Uvalde police chief or school district. Meantime, calls for gun control growing louder. Some of those calls coming from the families of victims. Felix and Kimberly Rubio lost their daughter Lexi.
There's no reason for just an average citizen to have these type of weapons. What for? What do you need them for? Like, is it worth my kid? These kids?
A group of bipartisan lawmakers working on a 10-day deadline, trying to reach an agreement on potential gun reform legislation.
We must turn that anguish into action. Our nation depends upon it.
A smaller group of lawmakers meeting via Zoom Tuesday to continue what are being called serious negotiations. Several proposals that would restrict access to guns, including expanding background checks on gun sales, which has been voted down in Congress multiple times. Red flag warnings, which would prevent someone from possessing a firearm if they have certain histories of concerning behavior. Also being discussed, funding for more mental health resources.
Discussion with the larger group is expected later this week. Meantime, President Biden has promised that he will meet with Congress to discuss gun reform. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.